What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Wiley Show. We're back with another live. Now, I had to catch up on some much needed sleep. So I had got up and I said, wait a minute, let me get to um, my much needed rest. So I was like, okay, I'm reading. And I said, let me go ahead on and get that much needed sleep that I needed. And I was on a train and I was sleeping. So let me tell y'all about the train ride. The train ride was amazing. I mean, you can get stuff off the cart. They sell you hot food. They serve you hot food. I'm saying you have to buy it. And then you really can sleep. And I mean, I was catching up on some much needed reading. And shout out to my Audible book. I finally was able to finish Roland Martin Unfiltered. I'm sorry, Roland Martin book, White Fear. And I'm currently reading Malcolm X book, not the autobiography, but a book that another author wrote about Malcolm X. And I purchased the hardcover, but I never finished it. I'm on chapter 8. And the name of that book is called A Life of the Reinvention of Malcolm X, written by Manny Marble. And that is read by G. Valmont Thomas. And so I'm reading that as well. And I was just reading it on the train and I was reading it in the house and I was learning some things about, Malcolm X that I didn't know. Learned that I finally found out his father remarried and a lot of things I learned about Malcolm X that I'm reading in this book and how he was really hard and how he will be considered today a male, you know what I'm saying, with his views about women. Like a lot of men back in the day, they were sexist back in the day. They really hard on women. And there's some things that he was saying in his earlier speeches because this author was able to get a copy of all of those old, sermons or teaching that he did in the temple that he did with the Nation of Islam before he fell out back in the 50s. And so he was able to get a copy of all of that. Not too many people were able to get copies of that because Minister Farrakhan said no, but but this particular author, he spent like 9 hours, I believe, back in 2005, speaking to the minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I was loving this book. I mean, I'm reading it. I am literally on what chapter am I on? I am on chapter 8, and I have a lot more chapters to go. But this book is actually 18 chapters. So I have about 10 chapters left, and I could just put it in my ear and just listen to it. It's just definitely a great book. Now, we got a lot to discuss today in this live. We definitely are going to dive in, and I want to make sure that we do because we have a lot to discuss, in this live. Let me make sure. In this live. So we have a lot to discuss. So y'all bear with me, okay? Give me a second. I was supposed to upload a picture, and I'm saying it is not uploaded on here. So give me a second here. Give me 1 second. Let me grab the other mic so I can still talk to y'all while I'm off camera. I got to upload a picture. Got to upload a picture. So give me a second here. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. Is this going good? Hold on. Nope. It ain't working. All right. It's working now. So give me a quick little second here. Because there was a picture that I definitely have to upload that I have not uploaded yet. Because we have a lot to discuss in this video. And I definitely want to discuss it and chit chat with y'all. Okay. When y'all come on in the room, come on in. I want to make sure I upload that picture because it was a picture that I have to upload and it have not been uploaded yet. Definitely got to do that. Hold on. I see it right here. It must didn't save. I'm going to do that real quick. And I have a lot, like I said, it's a lot to discuss today. I want to make sure these pictures are uploaded. And I'm so glad that I have to get on another device to upload these pictures because like I said, we're talking about Nicki Minaj. We also going to be talking about Jaguar, Wright. It's a lot of subjects that we're going to be diving into and getting into because it definitely needs to be done. and I did my research on these stories. So I said, hey, let's go out here and do it. All right, there we go. And I'm gonna email it to myself because I want to make sure that when you see it on the screen that you'll see these pictures. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So got that in there. I said, let me go ahead on. Now we have to really upload these pictures. And I want to definitely talk about this piece right here. I saw Nicki Minaj on Riley's show, and Nicki Minaj was on there, and she was on there with Milagro. She was on there with Riley, and I was listening to the interview when I was on the train ride last night. And when I tell you that interview was boring, it was. It was so boring that they did not answer the good questions. That's how boring it was. It's like the questions was not asked appropriately, and it was extremely boring. And so when I seen that on there, I said, "Wow, this interview could have been so much better." Like Malago wasn't prepared, neither was um, Riley was prepared. So when I listened to it, I'm like, "Where's the tough questions?" And they was asked a question about outfit. They could have dove in more about the lyrics of the song. They did not dive in more about that. And that's one thing I love about mainstream media. They go to ask those tough questions. When she went on Riley, they was asking her very, very softball questions. That wasn't asking her some tough questions. And I'm like, it was a lot of lyrics that she wrote that could have been considered disrespectful to Missy Elliott or Lil Kim or Cardi B. It's like so many things that they could have referenced that even the lyrics, the website that post lyric, they was posting little excerpts of what Nicki Minaj could or could not have been talking about. They also could have brought up Armand being reposted in her story. So as many things they could have brought up, and why you repost them, and why do you have them blocked? I would have asked those very tough questions because it's needed. And I don't think Milagro asked the tough questions at all. And they were definitely, both of them were playing it safe. Like they were afraid to ask questions. Now, mind you, Milagro, she said a lot of questions. I mean, she took up for a lot of R words. I mean, she took up for Kaylin Walker. She took up for Nicki Minaj's husband. I mean, she took up even for a man that hit somebody in the pinky toe. She took up for all these people. But when it was time to ask the tough questions to Nicki Minaj, there was no tough questions. It's like she was nervous. And then Riley was like, "Oh, you got something to say? Do you have something to say, Milagro? Well, I want to ask you about your outfit. And everybody know you have good outfit. What about that outfit?" People want to know about those lyrics. Why did you? Well, I would ask her the question. You took a hiatus for years. I mean, not for years, for almost a year or so, almost 6 months, and you came back addressing some rappers. Would it be appropriate? Would it be correct for me to say that you were dissing Megan Thee Stallion? Would it be correct that you were dissing Cardi B or Lil Kim? Because a lot of people were saying that on the streets. Your response. So you have to ask her these tough questions. Now, mind you, she may not come back, but that's okay. But at least you ask her the tough questions. What does it profit you to bring her on the show and give her a garbage interview? And then the quality of the interview was messing up. I'm like, station head, y'all couldn't do a upgrade. You got one of the highest paid rappers, one of the highest paid known rappers here. Y'all couldn't have did something to make sure the quality worked, because she kept either A, it was her connection, or B, it was station head. Typically, I'm gonna go with station head, because station head do have some issues and some problems. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't work. Sometimes it lets you save shows, sometimes it don't let you save shows. And I don't know, maybe they need to really like upgrade that site. It's giving me blog talk radio teas, like when it's breaking up, and sometimes the connection works, sometimes it don't. Like it's really giving me those teas. And I've been using Stationery for a couple of years now, and it's really not that dependable. Even a lot of people say, "Well, you need to go to Amp Radio on Amazon." So I was thinking about that and see how that's going to be played out. But it's a lot of things that what I like about that I like about Stationery, because it gives you on the charts and tell you how good you are on the charts. But when I look at the thing with Armand and I look at Nicki, I would have brought that up, even though I don't, even though I don't see eye to eye with him. But it's a good question because she did repost him in her story, have been reposted in the story. She reposted him on Twitter, and I sent an email. I said, why don't you go on YouTubers that are critical of you? Why are you just going on in safe spaces? Because we're very critical of Nicki. And I talked to her people. And I sent an email. I said, why do you go to these other people just giving you safe and you don't know, uh, what's going on with the tough questions because they didn't ask you the tough questions. So I'm waiting on a response because I would love to get tough questions answered because she have a lot of mess. I mean, she came back from the hiatus and definitely dissing other female rappers. And then if I were to interview Megan or Doja Cat or these other artists or Look Him, I'm going to ask her about their response of Nicki lashing out on them on her records. Now, she have a right to put it in hip hop. I mean, she ain't robbing nobody. But I think we owe it to the fans to ask her these questions. I think we owe it to the fans, I'm saying it again, to ask Nicki Minaj these tough questions. I mean, they wasn't even prepared to even ask the Barb questions. And Milagro was like, well, what hashtag, yo, you excuse me? You are the reporter. I mean, excuse me, you are the host. You mean to tell me you don't have no questions to ask her? You sit on that live for hours and on hours, and you ain't got no good questions to ask her? I mean, come on, ma'am. You are literally on station here from 9 to 10 hours a day, and you ain't got no questions. You need to know from the bars what hashtag they use it. So you're not prepared. You're literally up there with her and don't know the hashtags that is being used. Like I'm just not understanding that. So when I was listening to the show, I was immediately bored out of my mind because she did not ask the tough questions. No, didn't ask the tough questions. And you can be asking very tough questions in a very professional way. But just asking her softball questions and being bored, that is like a bored interview. I was bored out of the interview. Now, many of y'all that heard the interview, maybe y'all were entertained by her interview that she did on Station Head, but I was not entertained. It was extremely bored. And even Nicki was bored. They didn't ask Nicki the tough questions. Now, Nicki did say that she don't like to say things out in the open because people would copy it, and she did say she's going to have fun this year. But a lot of questions, the elephant, as they say, in the room was not being discussed. And I'm saying that humbly, it was not being discussed. It should have been discussed, but I'm like, it's so many other questions you could have asked her that really could have drove you on page 6, on Media Takeout, on Blog Alert, on the Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, Hollywood Unlocked, BET, all of these other sites. You could have asked these questions, and there'd been a rewrite off the questions you asked. We have to be as commentators. We want to be so friendly with these celebrities that we forget about our audience. Let me break that down. We want to be so cool with celebrities that we forget to play and have a conversation and ask a tough question. Even when they was buying the records during the interview, I think that was great. But you didn't ask no tough questions. I think if you would have asked those tough questions and it got aroused by Nicki, I think more people would have bought the record. I don't see a problem. The record is only 69 cents, so you can buy it for 69 cents. And I get why they're selling it so cheap, is so they could be a number one record, right? And I would ask her, why are you selling it for 69 cents? Is it because you want it to be number one? Why not 99 cents like an average record costs? Why are you making it 69 cents? And how much money would you get per record sale off that 69 cents? Is it 5 cents? Is it 10 cents? Is it 20 cents? How much would you make? Or is it half, 30 some cent per record? So I would ask these tough questions on there. And I know people would say, well, she won't come back. And maybe she will come back because she will respect the fact that I'm asking tough questions, because she respect, Armand Wiggins' opinion by reposting them on her Instagram and everything. Now, I understand why she reposted them to get under Cardi B's skin, to rattle that cage of that relationship, because if you don't think that she know that they are close and that they are cool, you are sadly mistaken. Nicki see everything. When she on hiatus, she be on Twitter. She's watching right now. She watch herself when she's going in the title. These are the things that she does. I would ask you these tough questions. I think that Nicki definitely need these questions asked. And a lot of people need to ask questions about her husband, need to be asked. And I think she get irritated because people saying about the documentary, but no, sis, you're the one that was asking these people, telling these people about the documentary, and then you went on a hiatus about the documentary. I'm hearing that you don't want to put it out. You're waiting for your album, but when is your album going to be coming out? Because your album should have been out. Are you waiting for Cardi B to release an album before you release the album? Now, we do know once Nicki Minaj release her album, more female rappers are going to talk about redropping the album. But why wait? Never wait for somebody. Just build up your fan base and build up your audience. And that's what I like about Lotto. She ain't waiting. She released She released a song called Lottery. She's up there letting the bloggers know, like, don't play with my name. Doja Cat been releasing records. We've been seeing a lot of people that have been listening. Lizzo, she been releasing a song, going on tour, doing great and awesome. But Cardi B, not all she does is being at home, and sometimes she'll go to a concert and do a record and do a surprise performance. But where your concert at? So these are the type of questions. Even when she went on Jay Lee didn't ask Cardi. I believe some tough questions. It was a good interview, but he could have went deeper, in my humble opinion. So when I saw that interview with Nicki Minaj on Station Here, I was not impressed about the record. I was not impressed. Maybe y'all was impressed about it, but when I saw the record, I really wasn't. I wasn't impressed at all. It wasn't a good record. When I saw the record and listened to the record, I was immediately not touched by the record. With this record that she just released on her social media, I was not impressed by it. And of course, I would buy the record because, again, she's still an artist. So, of course, I would buy the record and purchase the record. It was only like 69 cents. And I'm going to buy it right now. So give me a second here. Nicki Minaj. Because unless they went up on the price, it was 69 cents. And the name of that record is Red Ruby. Is the name of the record. It costs 69 cents. You got a double cut to buy it, and we purchased it. Red Ruby, the sleeve, and I just purchased it. All right, and that was 69 cents. And I don't mind purchasing it because I love supporting artists. And then I'm going to listen to it again on my headset because I listened to it on Station. I didn't really get advice. Sometimes I have to buy the record outside of these platforms and really just listen, observe the record. But I do believe that Nicki have what it takes to make another great album. And she said about, would you act? She said, yes, I am an actress. That's my first love. And so I want to get more into diving into who would you work with, ask her about different directors. So there's a lot of things I would ask Nicki Minaj if she was on the show. And we will continue to reach out to her, and we will continue to ask her these very in-depth questions to make sure she answer it and to take us on the road. Just like I just interviewed a rapper, Risk Taker D-Boy. I just interviewed him, and I was able to ask him some questions, and he shared some things. So you got to be careful. You got to not be careful, but you got to ask the question because you got to think about your audience first and foremost. Think about your audience. That is the most appropriate thing to do. What about your audience? Are they enjoying this experience when you ask these questions? Because number one, your main focus is you're making sure your audience is enjoying this, because your audience is the reason why you're here today. They're the reason why you're relevant. So it's great to have. So now you don't have to be disrespectful. Like I was not disrespectful to Risk Taker. I wasn't disrespectful to Risk Taker D-Boy. Not at all. Wasn't disrespectful to him at all. But I asked him a question, and he started sharing some things. And so we went on that roller coaster, and he felt comfortable to share these things. And so we will share this tomorrow for our members only, and then we will share it to the general public soon. So the general public will probably see this interview either on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, but the members will see the interview tomorrow. Okay, the interview will see this tomorrow, and it will be great. And I want your opinions. Not a long interview, but the members will see it. So anytime I do these interviews, I will release it for my members first and my Patreon people first, and then I will release it to the general public. Because the reason why we're doing this is to give y'all something to do about it, because I don't want to just charge y'all for members and y'all don't use it. Now, for those people that want to come back on members only, all you have to do is just click on the link. The moderators got the link as well, where you can click on if you want to become a member. You still got time. I will drop it in the chat. So give me a second here, because a lot of y'all want to become members. because I do see y'all comments, and this is why I tell y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Let me see, because I had the members. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna share it right now, and members and moderators, grab this so you all can see it. Okay, because I have it right here. Give me a second. All right. So if anybody want to become a member, there you go. And moderators, grab that. You have some of y'all is on Patreon, some of y'all are members. Now for Patreon, y'all have to watch it live. I'm working on the replays, so but everything like that. So y'all just be on the lookout for that. And so that's going to drop tomorrow. It may be noon. Okay. So Patreon members is the same. You get the same content. So we may drop that at like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock for this interview with Risk Taker. So y'all can just be on the lookout for that. And yeah, be on the lookout for that's going to come tomorrow. So I'm back here, so I'm able to upload that. That's going to come tomorrow, and we will see y'all on that. So that's going to come tomorrow for that. And again, I'm going to drop it in here. So if you're becoming a member, only thing you have to do is click on the link and to join our membership. All right. So let's move on. We did get an update on MC Shaky. They're saying they're working on the pipe, getting it replaced, that they was able to give them more water, from my understanding. We will keep y'all updated with the MC Shaky piece. Hopefully he don't get in trouble and get penalized for posting about this on the public. But we did get in contact with the people in the area where he was arrested, where he's housed at. So they did say they're working on the pipe being replaced and everything like that. And we would keep y'all update more. And this is why it's so difficult when you go into these prisons, because you're at the mercy of a corporation. They're all about profit over people, and they're in for their stockholders. So we would keep y'all updated with this in the future, okay? Also, this thing with Tony the Closer and Tasha K, I said this and I'm going to say it again. Tony the Closer have a right to call the employee out of her name because the employee were being messy. She was putting things in Tasha K's back. And she was putting it in her back saying that, oh, she did you wrong. Oh, he's painting this picture of you. Oh, look how he edited. And Tasha failed to realize that Tony the Closer only got 100,000 followers on YouTube. So him using that clip and creating some controversy to get people to watch the interview, I think is strategically correct. I think it's the appropriate thing to do. And so when Tasha have done clips and make people look bad and all of that, it doesn't make any sense. And so she started to diss, his mother, and started to diss his girlfriend. Because yet again, the employee was talking and running her mouth with the approval of Tasha. She did the same thing to me on the app. And Tasha act like she don't know what's going on. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't believe that. But y'all talking, y'all gossip. But there's something that he said, and on that point, I want to dive into that point what Tony the Closer said, that she wanted to fire the employee. And she's trying to find a good, appropriate way to fire the employee without creating controversy. Eventually, they will fall out. I mean, she fell out with Storm, didn't surprise me. She fell out with Lovely T, didn't surprise me. She fell out with Nicki at Night, didn't surprise me. She fell out with Daytime Tea Time, didn't surprise me. She fell out with Larry Reid the Pedo, didn't surprise me. She fell out with Armand Wiggins, didn't surprise me at all. So all of these people that she fell out, or Candace Daytime Tea Time, did not surprise me. So she fell out with a lot of people. She lied on me and fell out with me, or said I was on her app for free when in fact I was paying for the app. So she fell out with a lot of people. So her falling out with Tony the Closer didn't surprise me at all. And so when I saw it, I said it ain't surprising, because Tasha have a tendency of not dealing well with people. Like, she had this attitude of being mean and nasty. And Tony did a great solid for her, because he put her on to his editor for TikTok, and he treated her well on TikTok and paid it great for her TikTok. And then here we go. She fell out with him as well. And so he really was going in, and he's very professional on all of that in his way. And I just think that he irritated because they was provoking things about, his girlfriend. And so the girlfriend reached out to him. And the girlfriend reached out and said, baby, you should have listened to me. That I tried to tell you the truth. Like, his girlfriend reached out and said the words and said it verbatim on the show that you should have listened. And she said he said to her 2 days ago, "I'm sorry, baby." This is to his girlfriend Nicole. "I'm sorry, baby. I'm so mad right now. I could hurt someone." She said, "I love you," and then she also responded, "You gotta start listening to me, please," because she warned him about Tasha. And this is like we warned others, like we warned Larry the pedo, and he didn't want to listen. Glad he got exposed. I think pedos do need to get exposed, right? And he didn't want to listen. Now, this man supposed to be a prophet, supposed to be about God, supposed to know about the Lord, supposed to know when people are going to become rich and famous and all these things. He didn't want to see her evil behavior because he wanted to get into bed with her. And here we go. She clapped back against him. And now he's acting like, oh my gosh, this happened. And I'm like, yeah, because she asked the tough questions. And now she lashed out on Larry and exposed him as being a pedo, right? And now he's surprised and shocked. Oh my gosh, I was friends with her. But it ain't like you didn't get warned about her behavior. Let's be clear on that. It ain't like you didn't get warned about the behavior. Like Tony was warned, and she probably was on that phone, so professional, so nice. But everybody know that Tasha, through the history of her, she is going to come against you. It is what it is. That comes with the territory. So anytime that you see her and she goes at it, don't be surprised because that is what she do. It is in her spirit not to get too close with you that she's going to lash out. And when she lash out on them, when the employee lash out, you're going to see her come on the Wiley show. She's going to share some things what she said about me in private, and she's going to expose Tasha. She's going to write a book, and then she's going to become a new YouTuber. And she's going to use all of those strategies that she used to help build Tasha's channel. She's going to use it for herself. Just watch. It's going to happen because she already got the email list. She already got the people and all of that. Eventually, it's going to happen. And this ain't going to be too far away. It's going to happen where she's going to fall out with the employee, and the employee going to do so many interviews. And it's going to shock you. It ain't going to shock me. It's going to shock y'all about what the things that she shared about Tasha K. Now, we all know Tasha K have a mental illness. She's a narcissist. She is that type of woman. She have a very nasty spirit when it comes to things like that, and she will do it. And like even when she tried to do her production of her show, is nowhere near the production of Lovely T, because Lovely T actually had celebrities at her event and at her thing, and she did hers way earlier than Tasha. And Lovely T actually has celebrities. Like people actually respect Lovely T opinion, and they respect her as an artist, as a commentator, and some even call her a journalist. But when it comes to Tasha, they come at her so hard. So we will see how all of this stuff is going to be played out in the future. And like I said, when they do fall out, because it's going to happen, we're going to see it all play out live on the Wiley Show. But it's going to happen, and we're going to see it and everything like that. And then also Tony the Closer was actually showing on his page. Let me scroll up. He was showing on his page, here's how I made 6.3 million and gained over 350,000 followers on Instagram, starting without a large following, without a lot of startup capital. Get your notes ready. Here's a head up. You might want to save this thread. He said, first, free 99, biggest hack in life, to do things without expecting anything in return. So I decided to share my knowledge for free. My niche is real estate. So I decided to do a 31-day free live training. This would take 2 hours a day, 31 days, gain 7,000 followers. And he was talking about how he built money on real estate. But the way he cussed out Tasha, wow. And people say, oh, they shouldn't become a member of your business. As long as you're making money through real estate and he's smart in real estate, I just think that he got to know how to read people and know how to read them, because this could have been all avoided if he would have just called me. And I would have told that brother, don't trust her. She's going to be good with you for a season, and then she's going to flip and drag you. That is what Tasha K does on her platform, and she will continue to do it when it comes to people like that. We will keep y'all updated on this with Tony the Closer and Tasha K, and to see if any more details come out, because he did claim that he was going to sue Tasha. And we're going to break that down with that lawsuit. We're going to dive into the paperwork if he actually sued Tasha K. But Tasha K has been sued by a lot of people. It stopped her from talking about Cardi, so it does work. With Tasha, you have to literally go through the process with that as well. So you have to go through the process to get this all that way. We will see how it would go in the future. All right. Okay, let's move on. And we already know she probably got the employee on the NDA, but who cares? NDAs get broken every day. I mean, the person that worked with Trump had an NDA, and she wrote a whole book against Trump. So, it doesn't matter if you have an NDA. People are still going to talk about you. That's how it goes. Now, let's get back to the Jaguar Wright piece. She's in the hospital. She's being medicated. She went back to the DeSoto Police Department. They filed a thing with the court to get her in the hospital. Because she kept calling the DeSoto Police Department, recording it. Anything about Texas, they file a thing to get you in the hospital. And I forgot the document, what it's called, but to sum it up, you can't leave the hospital without a doctor's approval. Like, you can go to a court hearing, but typically those court hearings falls with they stay with the doctor. And so she is playing this as well. And she is in the hospital. She's getting the medicine, which she needed. But the thing about it is, when she's in the hospital, she's good, but when she's out of the hospital, she turns bad because she gets worse. Because anybody knows, when you go to the hospital, you get treatment. They give you notes. They give you they give you prescriptions, right? They give you a thing to go to once you're not in the hospital. They tell you to go to, outpatient care, and they tell you where to go, and you don't get it. And so now we don't know what's really going on with her son, Legina, or whatever, the fake daughter of Aaliyah and the fake daughter of all of these people. We don't know, the fake daughter of R. Kelly. But it's sad because, this woman is trying to drive and her mind is compromised. And she turned against her husband. So we will see how this is going to play out in the future. I am glad that she's in the hospital because she's able to get the help. But I know from experience, from a person like myself, speaking from experience, I will go to the hospital, I will be good, and then I think I'm delivered from it and nothing wrong. And then here I am, get right back into hearing the voices and being irritated. Like, I would get really right back into all of these type of situations. So if she don't listen to the doctor and take the medicine when she leave and really take it, then she's going to be right back into a place. Back into that place. That if she lived enough to go to the hospital, because she loved to play with the police, and that's very dangerous. And when you see this, she still want to respond on these YouTube channels and stuff. That's making it difficult because she think that she's doing this to help somebody, but she's harming herself, and she's not getting a coin from it. She's not. That everybody else making a coin, but they're not giving her thousands of dollars they're making of the clicks and views off her. It is sad. But she's been in the hospital a couple of times that we know of publicly. I bet she, all through her life, she's been in and out of the hospital, but she don't want to take the medicine. And now we see her husband and Jack both going at it, and both of their minds is compromised. But Jack is more so out of it. And she go in there, she know what to say. Because she become a professional patient. What is a professional? A professional patient know the things to say in the hospital. They know not to be too in the hospital. They know not to be too in the hospital. They know what to say to the doctor. They be just as calm, cool, collected. And then most of these hospitals are overrun with patients, so they don't be in there for a long time. So they literally be overrun with patients. So you go in there, they talk to you, or they'll probably get on the phone with the husband. The husband probably say, "Oh, she's okay, she's fine," and then they go ahead and give her discharge papers because she haven't literally been in the hospital long. Like, she been there for a couple of weeks. She haven't been in long. But we're gonna see how that's gonna be played out in the future. Just like she said, I'm worth $45 million. No, you're not. Stop that. And stop believing these people that lost their mind talking about they worth $45 million. No, they're not. She ain't worth no 45. In her head, them voices telling her she worth $45 million. No, she's and she ain't worth no $45 million. I'm just keeping it real. I know y'all ain't gonna like to hear that, but she ain't worth no $45 million. I'ma say it again. She's not worth no $45 million. And people take what she say literally. I don't, because I know she upstairs. So I know not to believe nothing hardly what she say out of her mouth. You have to take it with a grain of salt, especially when she's not medicated on that medicine. And I'm just being real. So y'all run and take all that what she said. I think she said she were okay. All right. We need to put you in a padded room with her. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. Let's put you in a padded room with her. Because obviously you ain't a good type of person for your mind. And I'm just being real. Okay? I'm just being real. So I'm saying this for her, that she needs the help. And people encourage her. They want her to continue to have these breakdowns to get clicks and views off her. Like, she been on our show one time and she never ever came back because I know that spirit, and I'm going to call it out. And we done it constantly on our channel, calling out that spirit of her mind is compromised and she need the medication. That is exactly what she need, and she not really taking it. And what she does is she said all of these belligerent things on her show, and she will continue to say these things on her show. That's what she does. She say it without even thinking about these things that she does on her show. We will keep y'all updated on the things that she said on the show, and we will continue to do it. Man, she have definitely lost it all, and it's just I just look at her and I'm like, wow, wow, wow. It's just like, what? And she goes back to the hospital, and the hospital only way. Let me tell y'all, that's not a cure. You have to work through the process. Just because you go to the hospital, you fine. Once you leave, you have to put in the work. Like, I take my medication. I take my Zyprexa and all of that, and I take it every day. I take 2 pills every night, and I sleep. And that's why I was late on the show, because I took my pills last night and I slept through it. I slept on the train. And then when I got home, I was listening to the book. I found myself sleeping again. So I slept again. So that's just how that goes. And I went on an amazing sleep. And I knew in my mind, I said, hey, I'm going to take a nap because I got to get the medicine, because it's in my system. And so that's what I does. And so you typically take my medicine at night, working around like 8 or 9 o'clock, so I can sleep throughout the night. Even my doctor even told me, say, hey, I don't think that you should get a schedule, a 10 to 6 schedule, because you're on medicine. You should get like a 2 to 10 schedule or a morning schedule and take your medicine around 8:30, 9 o'clock so you can sleep during the night and wake up refreshed. So these are the things that I listen to my doctor, and I try to pay attention to the doctor when she give me advice. So to do, like, tomorrow, I'm up taking a nice little walk at the trail, and then I'm going to take that walk, and then tomorrow I will either the treadmill or walking outside. Obviously, when the weather is nice. So that's what I do for my body. It keeps it down. It keeps the pressure down. Walking every day, and it is a stress reliever. That's what I do. And working out in the gym, so I burn that energy, and so I don't have time to be. I'll be too tired, and I'm sleepy. And so that's what I do. I keep my body and my mind working. And so what I do also, I listen to nice audible books, and that keeps me away. That keeps me good. Listen to the book in my ear, hearing the different authors, and I'm getting addicted to it as well. Or if you're not an audible person, if you say, hey, I want to read a book, it's so many books that you can sit and read and enjoy, and that's some parts of entertainment that you have. And that's what I do on my show. I listen to these advice, and I do it purposely, and just listen to a book, and I do all these type of things, and I does that. And I also, with the working out piece, that is what you're supposed to do, because the doctor would tell you, hey, work out, hey, go for a walk. It's the stress release, get into a gym, get into some activity, keep your mind occupied with good thoughts, and also it help you, get you great energy. And that's something that Jag needs to learn. And what she does, all she does, is go on the internet and add more stress. Now we all have stress in our lives, and most of y'all don't let the stress overtake you. But us that's mentally that need help, we don't do well with a lot of stress. And the doctor will tell you don't add on more stress. Like make sure you take the medicine. If that relationship is hurting you mentally, then you need to leave that relationship to save yourself. And that is something that people need to understand, because she's going through a lot in that relationship, and that's adding more stress. And she's so-called going through a lot with these quote-unquote celebrities, and that is even actually adding more stress. So we're going to keep y'all updated with this, and I'm going to do it for y'all and keep y'all updated with this as well. But it's definitely something that needs to happen as well. So we're going to keep y'all updated, and we hopefully that she gets the sleep that she need, and she's on the medicine, and hopefully that she come back and be a different person. Okay. But you definitely have to do that. I mean, rest is needed. And most of the people, I ain't taking that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with me. La, 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 la. And you see sis or bruh or uncle acting a plump fool. And that's why a lot of people with these illnesses, they don't stay in the house because of the fact that they went through in the illness. They don't. As you can see, they a lot of family members cut them off because they don't do right, and so they cut them off because they tired of telling you take your meds. They tired of telling you and you're not cooperating. Like, come on. Hold on one second. I'm gonna have the phone line, so just in case if y'all want to call in, I have it. They're tired of that. Take your meds. Don't want to take it, or you refusing to take it, and that's why a lot of people go through these things, because you refuse to take the medicine. Okay, give me a second here, and I'm gonna make sure, because just in case somebody want to call in and give their thoughts, we'll do that as well. Let me post the number on the screen here. There we go. Okay. All right. Thank y'all so very much. Now, that was it. Just in case somebody want to call in and give their thoughts. It's 728, 828 on the East Coast. That's what it is. And they said it's sad and she need help. Yes, she needs the help. And I encourage her to stay in the hospital. Okay. I encourage her to get the help. And hopefully one day she gets the help. All right. The number is on the screen here. Hey, you live on the Wally Show. Hello, you live on the Wally Show. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I was calling because I just wanted to know, like, the comment that you made about Ricky Smiley the other day.
Yes.
I just wanted to know, like, so your grandmother, do you look at your grandmother like she's a horrible person, being as though your mom was a drunk?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That answers your question? Yes. She had to take some responsibility for that. Yes.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Thank you.
All right. You think you're gonna get me twisted time up in a comment? Absolutely. She had to take some ownership of that. Okay. Yeah. You think you're gonna get me tongue twisted all that time or something? No, I'm gonna be able to give my opinion about that. What? Oh, you think you're girl? Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. I'm still on message. Now go around to Ricky Smiley and tell Ricky Smiley that. Come on. You can't show me. Yeah, she wasn't even prepared for that. Absolutely. Yeah, she got to be called to the carpet. Okay. Well, yeah, anybody else want to call in? The number is 972-674-9462. Y'all was in y'all feelings for that as well. Was in the feelings of what I said about Ricky Smiley. It was in their feelings about that. And it's okay that you in your feelings about that. That's just my opinion. What you mad for? Call in. Tell Ricky Smiley to call in. He's a terrible father. And I said it, and I said it again. And many people couldn't take that. They was in their feelings for that. It was in their feelings. We said he was a terrible father, in my humble opinion. A lot of people couldn't take that. They still mad about that lie. That's when you know you did your job, because they in they feelings. Now, we did that video. That had to have been, what, 2 days ago? When did we do that Ricky Smiley video? 2 days ago? Okay. I think we did that video about 2 days ago. We did that video. All right. And they still in their feelings. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. All right. There we go. Okay, y'all. Now we got to talk about Nosey Heaux, Nicki Minaj, and also Nicki Minaj's attorney. On yesterday, a thing went on Twitter. Nosey, under a fake Twitter account, posted something on Twitter saying that the default judgment was thrown out by the clerk. But me and my team, we did a little bit more research on there as well with the default judgment. We did that as well. We did some more research on it as well. And let's be clear, this is not a win for Nosey, all right? The fact remains, Nosey and her attorney never filed a response to Nicki's original complaint. Nosey even missed the extended deadline to file a response. Nosey on Twitter presented a false narrative. The case is still ongoing, all right? Let's put it out there, okay? And technically, Nosey lost. Nicki's attorney can have Nosey publicly served with a new default judgment, pleading, then refile the certificate of default with the clerk again. The case is not over, and Nosey did not win anything. This is just a delay of the inevitable. Nosey, your mouth wrote a check that your butt can't cash. Also, for people saying that she have to pay $75,000, the final judgment will be a lot more than that once the court assesses Nicki legal fees and other costs. Nosey, stop capping for social media. Stop running and hiding like a coward. And I want to make sure we let the audience know, Mr. Judd Burstein, you can contact him at 212-974-2400. Again, that number is 212-974-2400. You can call him if you know when Nosey resigns, so they can make sure they serve her with the proper paperwork, because Nosey is hiring. The court document addressed Nosey as Marley Green, aka Carol Green, aka Nosey Heaux, Nosey Heaux Live LLC. So Nosey lawyer filed a motion. Nicki lawyer filed a motion for default on February the 23rd. At that time, Nosey was being represented by an attorney, Sammy, or Sammy, or S-A-M-I-N-A. S-A-M-I-N-I. So the attorney accepted. The attorney Simi accepted the service for the original complaint. Nosey lawyer has since dropped her, and Nosey is on the run. Nicki lawyer can no longer serve Nosey through an attorney, S-A-M-I-N-I. All Nicki lawyer needs to do is track down Nosey and have her serve with the default pending and refile the proposed clerk certificate of default. Okay. So as you all can see, because they dropped her and she been dropped by her attorney, now Nicki Minaj lawyer have to serve her Nosey personally, because Nosey don't have a lawyer, and she's running around and hiding and not even doing social media content. That's how she's hiding, and she's going over there on Clubhouse, and she's trying to go on another account because it's easy to track on YouTube. So she's hiding right now. That is exactly what she's doing, and hopefully she comes out of hiding. Hopefully that she comes out of hiding, and she would definitely do that. Hello, you live on the show.
Wiley?
Yes.
Did you take a bath?
See, yeah, come that way. He want to say, did I take a bath today? Sorry, Pops. Gotta go. All right. So now the number is 972-674-9462 is the number. 972-674-9462 is the number. 972-674-9462 is the number if you want to call in. That is the number. And another piece I want to say about Nosey Heaux, you shared this stuff about her and you run it. That's one thing about Tasha. She didn't run. Tasha K got served with the paperwork. She got a $4 million judgment. And it's going to actually be more because Tasha K actually prolonged the proceeding in the appeal. So she got more money to pay to Cardi. But one thing I can say about, Tasha K, she didn't run. But this nosy person is running. She's running from the cops. She got warrants. She's running. And we sent an email. This lady, when I tell you she is running away. That's what she exactly doing. Running. So if anybody want to call in and give their point across in this subject, it's so very, very, I don't feel sorry for Nosey because you know why I don't feel sorry for her? Because she didn't have to say these things at all. She came up and she said all these things on the channel and all she had to do was keep it clean. She did not keep it clean. She the one that wanted to pick up this mantle and drag Nicki Minaj on the behalf of these celebrities, on the behalf of herself and her platform for her pocket. And now she's on the run. Now you see her running. Now, where is the lady that claimed that Nicki Minaj's husband did these things? She ain't got nowhere around. She ain't on the show. She's running because she decided to file a lawsuit against Nicki Minaj and her husband, and she lost that. So now Nosey ain't got nobody in there to help. She's running. She's running. Warrants and lawsuits that lady got. And she just run. It was another YouTuber that was on here. And she talked a lot of crap about me and Tasha. Just talked all this crap about us. And here this lady had multiple warrants. On the other people's name. It was so bad that she put another person on her YouTube. Like she was getting paid under another person's YouTube. She have multiple warrants on her show. Like literally multiple warrants that she have on her show. And she was actually running away. And then a YouTuber found out she had the warrants, reported her to the police. And she had that, and she was hiding ever since. Multiple warrants. And she was doing all this talking about Tasha and Wiley. All I do is my documentaries. And she was defending Armand. And then months later, she was arrested. She did all that talking. And she was arrested because she had multiple warrants. You know what I'm saying? Literally, multiple warrants. I'm not trying to make this stuff up. That's exactly what she had. Multiple warrants is what that lady had. And she was talking about Wiley this and Wiley that. And here that lady had multiple warrants. And hopefully this is a teachable lesson to people because when you have warrants, I don't know. Because when I had a warrant out for the library situation, this is a couple of years back, they came and picked me up. I didn't hide it. I didn't go around and hide it. And I didn't go around saying this. I got picked up, arrested, fingerprinted, everything. I had my sworn. Hey, you live on the Wiley Show.
Thank you, Wiley. This is Queen Tosa.
Chat, please. I ain't got time to go on somewhere else and troll because you ain't gonna never be on topic. Okay, multiple warrants. All right. Go on over there. Ain't nobody got time for you today. And that's just keeping it real. All right. So I had a warrant out for that, and I was served. And the day that it happened, whenever I was going to pick up a check, and I came there, and they said, "Hey, you got this warrant?" I said, "Yes, sir." And they put my hands. It was about 3 or 4 of those cops. They put my hands around my back, and they arrested me. Right then and there. Okay. That's exactly what happened. And for this other YouTuber, when she had the warrants, she did not get the help that she needed. She ran and then she got caught up because she was in a whole nother city And then she didn't have the money. Then her daughter had to come out and raise the money. Now, because she used somebody's account with fraud, she had to create a whole nother YouTube channel because the person was reporting and said, hey, she uses somebody else's name. This lady was using a whole nother person's identity to hide. And she got caught up. She literally got caught up. Okay? She literally got caught up when it came to a situation like that. She got caught up and she got arrested. And then her daughter had to raise the money. And then the people did not raise the cash outs. And then finally, after a couple of weeks later, they were able to raise the money to get her out. But she was hiding. And I'm like, why would you hide and you have these multiple warrants? Like, why would you do that? Why would you sit there and hide and stuff like that? Why? Okay? Why would you do that? Why? Like, who does that? Who sit there and have multiple warrants, talk mess about people? And I can't do that because I will always fear they come. Like, if I ever get in trouble, just come pick me up. I don't want to run because what you're doing, running, you make the situation worse. Just address it right on. You know what I'm saying? Just address it right on. That's what I'm saying. Address it right on. When you have these warrants, and then I don't have money for it. Well, what do you expect? All them YouTube checks, you should have been using that for a legal defense fund. Because when I was going through the situation, they came pick me up. It was no choice of me running. I was at the job. What job I was at? Brookhaven. I believe I was at Brookhaven Nursing Home. I believe it was Brookhaven. So I'm in the parking lot at Brookhaven. In the parking lot, picking up my paycheck. In the parking lot, all those officers came. It was about 4 or 5 of them. They said, you have a warrant out for your arrest. They asked for my name, and they arrested me then in the parking lot. Okay? In the parking lot, I was arrested. Went to Carrollton jail. They transferred me to Dallas County Jail. So it wasn't like I was so far away where I had to get on a plane or a bus or something, like really, really far. They got me in Carrollton Jail. And they transferred me to Dallas County Jail. And then I was able to get in front of the judge, and I had to pay, my bond was like $5,000. So I think you had to come out with $500. And I literally wasn't even an employee at the job. I was just coming in to pick up my check. I was in the parking lot, and they came and picked me up. So it was no like I was hiding. She was actually hiding from the cops. Because I'm like, you come out better dealing it heads on instead of hiding. You know what I'm saying? It's come out better actually dealing it heads on instead of hiding. All right. Thank y'all so very much for calling in, giving y'all an opinion. I just had to say that. Don't hide from the cops. Just address it and handle it heads on. This has been a lovely, lovely show. We've been on here for an hour. Let me read some of y'all comments in the chat. We want to thank y'all so very much for coming through. Let me read some of y'all comments in the chat. We are live. We didn't get any phone calls today. We got one of the trolls, but we ain't doing that. Go on somebody else's show and troll, not over here. Okay. She a criminal. Another blogger exposed all her charges and criminal history. There you go. While a lot of folks have records, it's going to make it hard for themselves in society. Yes, it was a lot of people. And so that's just how it was when it comes to stuff like that. And we don't do no name dropping, so y'all better come out here. Okay, we don't do no name dropping over here. So if you block, you know why. You better use nicknames only. All right. We just had to block 10 people today. We don't do no name dropping over here. All right, unless you super chatting, but we don't do no name dropping. If you want to get unblocked, you can't name drop over here. Okay, not at all. All right, we don't do no name dropping. Okay, thank y'all so very much for that. Way. Also, we are going to do something for Dallas in April. We going next month. We going to the gun range. I'm super excited for that. Woo! Going to the gun range. And I can't wait for that. And that's going to be in April. We're going to have the flyer that's going to drop. We endorse Brandon Johnson for mayor in the April runoff. It looked like he's losing. So I may not go to him because I went to a person that lost. So I may go to Paul. I may go to his party. But as I look at the statistics right now, he's doing quite bad in the polls. Like Paul is like 11 points ahead of him in the runoff race. So I won't be guaranteed to go to Brandon's event. I want to go to a winter event. I'm sorry. So I may not go to his event when it comes to stuff like that. And also, I want to send my prayers to the people in Mexico that they were caught. 2 of them was alive. 2 of them just was deceased. Definitely praying. For what I'm understanding, the research that I did, they were on their way to get some surgery. One of the people was getting surgery, and they literally went the wrong way. They got lost. And the cartel, people thought they were from Haiti, smugglers. They were some Haiti drug dealers or something from Haiti. And that's what happened. So we are definitely praying. And one of the ladies actually, they pulled up her criminal record that all her kids had some stuff in her system. So you have to be very mindful of that when it came to stuff like that. We are going to keep y'all updated with that and keep y'all updated on all of the situations. Thank y'all so very much when it comes to stuff like that. And yeah, man, it was a lot. Okay. It was really, really a lot. Yeah, it was really a lot. So thank y'all so very much for y'all calling in, for supporting the show, leaving a comment. It looked like Paul may win, and I'm gonna be at Paul event because he may win. All right. And I understand why he will win because he's tough on crime and he's white, and white citizens in city of Chicago up north and all the northern parts, they wanted a different candidate, and they wanted a candidate that is going to stop crime. And they want a tough crime thing because when white people fear, their thing is more police. Even though that's not going to work long term because crime is still going to be high, they need to get the root causes of poverty, But as of right now, the most popular thing to do is to bring more cops on the ground, and that's exactly what they're going to do: bring more police on the ground, and that's what they're going to do when it comes to stuff like that. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna call this one person back because somebody had called me about 3 times. Hold on, let me see. Okay, give me a second. I think somebody had called like 3 times. Give me a time. I'm gonna call them back. It's March 8th. Give me a second. Okay, these 2 people that called. Let me call. Wiley. Hey. Hello? There we go. Can you hear me?
Hey, Wally, how are you?
All right.
So I'm listening to you, and you made some perfect statements. I agree with you. I was in that live last night with Ra Ali, Milagro Graham, and Nicki Minaj. First of all, station head do need to get their stuff together. Oh, I wish I could curse on this station, but they need to get it together because, like you mentioned, Nicki Minaj is a big figure, a big statement, and it was horrible in the beginning. When Nicki came on, she was just spazzing out, but I guess she didn't know that she was live. But to what you said, the questions could have been better, but in Millie's favor, she did go on station head and she did ask her people's questions that could be asked. But we also have to think about it. It's not Millie's show, it's Ra Ali's show. So she can't overpower Ra Ali. Could we say that? To be fair,
I would say no, because Milagro is a person that need to ask these tough questions because it got to be a great interview. And she was throwing it back to Milagro, I guess, to bait her to ask stuff, and she didn't do it. I'm like,
I think Nicki did want to be a little messy.
Yes, but while she's up there, I'm like, white media would have never bring somebody not asking tough questions. I'm sorry. They got up there, was scared, like scared little girls. Like, she was throwing it to Milagro, and Milagro, what do you have to say, Milagro? Oh, I'm just sitting here.
And then she threw it to the audience.
Right? And then, so what y'all got to ask? It was boring. It was a dry.
And I agree with you. They should have known what hashtag, but then again, it's so many.
Yeah, but they could have did more research. Like, come on now. Y'all got Nicki Minaj on the show. That they were not prepared for the moment. They were not prepared for the moment. Of course, they had tech issues, but they wasn't prepared. Even when they got on, they still weren't prepared. It was just so dry. Then Rob was like, "Do you want me to? Do you know I could sing?" And she got. It was stupid. Like, we don't want to hear you sing. It's supposed to be it's on site. Meaning it's on site. I'm asking tough questions. They not Rod, neither did Malak. And I was shocked at Malak because she asked tough questions.
But Nicki threw a little shade at Rod because Rod was like, I can sing. Do you want me to sing? And then she was like, I was just saying that I got to warm up or something like that. And Nicki was like, well, this is on site, so therefore you should be able to sing on site. Like somebody asked you to sing.
Yes.
That was a little shady, but I live for the shade though. Yeah. But I also want to say, why bloggers or so forth don't like to mention other bloggers' names? For example, I agree with you. She reposted Amon Wiggins. I would have asked those questions.
Yeah, that was like a main question because it just happened. Like
because we the people where that's what we want to know. We love drama. We love mess. We want to know.
Absolutely, and that should have been a question that should have been brought up because she reposted, so it's news. Like I'm not understanding.
And it's not. And sorry to cut you off. And it's not like Milagro and Armand is shading each other or not cool anymore. They did an interview together, so I would assume I could bring him up in this conversation, being that is relevant. It wasn't like it was a month ago. It was new.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was talking trash about her at that particular moment when he got a
it was good. I'm saying I would have. You're right about that. And I think that you brought it up because you brought up a good point. Because
absolutely
they made up and they should ask some questions. I would ask that question. This is why, even when I brought on Risk Taker, many of y'all don't know him, but it's a sector that do know him. And so I asked the question, and he went down, and you should hear his response. So I can't wait for y'all to see that. And I pray that a lot of people watch that interview. But I've learned that the questions that I don't want to ask, I need to ask because those are the questions that you get up there with DJ Vlad. Because when y'all go to white folks, y'all ask anything. And we as black folks keep that same respect for us. Because if you go to DJ Vlad, he's going to ask you those messy questions. Like he asked,
and they said they're the new black media. I mean,
yes, and in order to be respected of new black media to get it to make noise, you must new black media ask them real questions. And they didn't do it. They was the weak black media, very weak. Both of them, Wright weak, and so was Milagro, very weak.
They have a lot of making up to do to us, with the people. But I do want to say this. I want to be a little messy. Of course, it wouldn't be me if I'm not a little messy. Do you believe that Amal Wiggins feels some type of way? That it was a chance for his name to be brought up in that interview, being that both of them made up, and Nicki Minaj recently reposted him. It was like a myth for Amal Wiggins to issue out that beef.
Well, I think that many people were tagging him in the comments because I was in the comments, and I think he should bring it up because why not? Why not bring it up? Because she did repost him. Hell, y'all were sending it all to my email and sending it to my
absolutely.
So obviously, if I seen it come across my desk, they seen it as well, especially Wright and Milagro. And neither one of them, I believe, posted it. And Milagro probably didn't want to act because she probably jealous of the fact that Armand is being reposted more than she being reposted, and they supposed to be more cool, her, Nicki, and Wright, right? And so a lot of these people, unfortunately, they get the jealous. They get in their skin like, oh, I'm not going to give them no more press. But I would throw that out the window. What is good for the show? And what's good for the show is to bring up Milagro Grams, need to bring up, or Rob, one of them, especially Milagro, should have brought up, you supposed to remind, is it possible for y'all to unblock each other, or is it possible y'all have a conversation, or why did you fall out with Armand? I would ask those type of questions. I'm sorry. I would have asked those type of questions, and it would have brought more attention to the interview because guess who would have went live after that question? Armand would have went live. So that would have helped my bottom line, would have brought more people into the show, and it probably would have been posted more on more blogs because they just posted them with the whole lotto piece. I understand they don't want to give him more press because they don't want to say, oh, man, I'm already hating that man getting reposted by Nicki. But you got to throw that out the window. What is best for the show? And that could have been a very tough question that I would have loved to hear, because she can't act like he don't exist. She can't, because it was posted on her page. So I would have asked that question. Yes, Milagro did a terrible job, and I was shocked. I don't know what happened. Maybe she needs some Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know what happened with her that night, but she wasn't herself, and Rob wasn't. They didn't ask. No, none of them didn't ask them tough questions.
You mean lemon pepper wings? But I just want to be clear. What I was going to ask you, you just said it, but I want to ask you this question so it can be live on air. Wiley, if you were in Milagro Graham's shoes and you had the opportunity to sit with Nicki Minaj, would you have brought up Amal Wiggins, even though you don't see eye to eye with Amal Wiggins?
Yeah.
Would you have brought him up?
Oh, absolutely. 1,000% I would have brought him up, because it's relevant. Because she just posted it up
Absolutely.
hours before the interview. So why not bring him up? You know what I'm saying? That could have been, for hell, his name ring numbers, right? It would have brought more people into the interview. So why not bring him up?
And it was relevant because she reposted him not even a couple days ago. So it was a big miss for Amal Wiggins, in my humble opinion, even though him and Milagro made up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's all I wanted to say. You know, I have to call and be a little messy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. It's should have brought it up. All right, y'all. That was it. We didn't get no more callers. That was a great question, and a question that definitely needs to be asked. Thank y'all so very much. Also, I would ask, and another piece. I don't care if we friends or not friends. What is best for business? I don't care if we friends or not friends. The question is, what is best for business? Okay? What is best for business? And I would have asked Nicki those questions. Thank you. I would have asked that. Okay? I would have. It was a boring, I'm not hating, but when I was on that train, I expected more from Milagro and Ra. They both dropped the ball. Yes, they did. Also, we have the GoFundMe page up. Make sure if y'all want to contribute to our show, please be a blessing to her. Also, we have the Cash App, that's $Marquise Wiley 28. We will be back in Chicago April the 4th. We probably will join. This may change. We will join Paul event or Brandon event. So we will let y'all know which event that we will join in. Okay. Thank y'all so very much for that. This was a good show. We'll be back live tomorrow. Members and also Patreon, we will be dropping that interview, Risk Taker. If you miss it live, Patreon did. I'll have to see how can I give y'all for the replay. Okay. I'm going to put the time out on there. I'm thinking about 5 o'clock on the East Coast High, 4 o'clock Central. That could change, but be on the lookout. I will announce it and send it, and I will be sending out a text message as well. And speaking about the text message, anytime that I go live or post something, if I go live, really, I have the text number, and you can just text Wiley in your text box. Put WILEY, and the number is 888-534-4939. Put in the text box Wiley, and the number is 888-534-4939. Thank y'all so very much for y'all awesome support, for the massive support. Like I said, we'll be right back in Chicago in about a couple of weeks for the runoff election. We did great with Jamal. We took an awesome picture with the WGN journalist. She said she don't add everybody to her Instagram, and I was honored that she added me to her Instagram. So that was great. Good promo, and we'll be doing that on April 4th to be exact. That is the runoff election. Thank y'all so very much. I do want to probably rent a car, but if not, we just use the money that we raise for Uber or Lyft. So if you want to contribute to our show, and that's trouble, there you go. That's $Marquise Wiley 28, $Marquise Wiley 28. And then also too, we will be doing our Chasing Dallas review on the 9th. Okay, we probably would do 2 reviews on there. Then we got the Bel Air review as well. We'll be doing all that tomorrow. So y'all have a lot of videos. You guys, a lot of videos. And that's going to be tomorrow. So be on the lookout. Tomorrow is going to be a lot of content, and as well as Friday. So it's a lot of content that we're doing as well. I mean, one of my producers did me a nice solid. Can't really get into details, but if everything's go good, that will be a big rush for our show. Also, we have the Vegas that's coming up. Vegas, October 6th through the 9th. Please RSVP, you guys. And we're doing a party bus. So those emails will be coming out soon. That's October 6th through the 9th. Y'all still got time. I think we probably won't be putting out about the party bus until like April, May, or June. So y'all still got time for that. So just be on the lookout. Put your money aside for the party bus, because we definitely doing a party bus. And that's going to be October 6th through the 9th. We will be in Las Vegas. Now, if it's a concert or something that we should go, and because I know we're going to Hell's Kitchen, let us know so we can add it to our artillery. And that's October 6th through the 9th. October 6th to the 9th. And if you want to RSVP, please do so at WileyShowProductions@gmail.com. 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 And thank y'all so very much. Now, we will be back live tomorrow. All right. See y'all back live tomorrow. Thank y'all so very much for that. And that will be tomorrow. So see y'all tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Thank y'all for the love. And we will talk to y'all in the next episode. Peace. Please subscribe. Now, like the video. Like. Please like the video. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, @Wiley Show, and like the video. Thank y'all so very much. All right. Now, kiddo, like it. Like it.